I've been wanting to make this video for a while. The video today is all about when they cracked down so hard on sampling. Before they started cracking down hard on sampling, the way people approached producing music was totally different. When you look at music production today, most of the time people do everything they can to avoid sampling. You still hear it. Matter of fact, I just heard Kodak Black did a sample from that Jeff Lorber, and I wish we can get some more of that. But unfortunately, what happened today is when the record companies, when some of the artists started cracking down and they were making it so expensive and taking so much publishing from the people that were trying to sample, it changed everything up, and people just thought, okay, we just going to have to produce differently. The result is a lot of it is based on what the producer can actually play or tap out. Now we're getting a little bit different things going on because now we have like these royalty-free sample libraries that you can choose from. But even then, a lot of those are based on the same simplistic concepts that we already had that developed from, let's say, trap or whatever it may be. Now, let me tell you why it's so important and why sampling played such a big part of what producers did and why I think we need it now. Me coming up producing, one of the big things you guys may remember is this: vinyl. When you can go to a record store, go to Goodwill, go someplace, pick up some vinyl, and you explore. You figure out what you like, what you didn't like. So one of the people that I picked up was Sergio Mendes, okay? Sergio Mendes, Tijuana Brass, a lot of good stuff. Now, a little bit about my background. I actually went to school for music. I have a degree in music education, so I teach music. And I'm a drummer or percussionist by trade. When I listen to these records, I'm not just listening to samples. Sometimes I pick up stuff that I could learn how to play. And a lot of times when I used to learn how to produce, one of the big things I may do is if I really like the way something sounds, I would try to learn how to play it, whether it was on drums or it was on keyboards. It also helped me to understand the people that were doing that stuff. Let me give you some more gems. Who's this guy? This is Cuba Gooding, Sr. We need sampling. I really think that we need sampling because we need producers to have a variety of how the music is approached. Let me give you another gem. This right here is one of the greatest underrated albums ever. It's by G.C. Cameron and Cyrita. It's called Rich Love, Poor Love. Absolutely incredible. The production on this stuff is crazy. The arrangements is incredible. The harmonies, the melodies, the production on this thing is absolutely incredible. Great musicians, everything. One of the most influential producers ever to me, Norman Connors, my hero. If you don't know who that is, type in Norman Connors, look for his music. There's a song called Starship, one of his, I think it's his biggest song. Look him up, Norman Connors. Sea Level, Stanley Clarke. The DeBarges, as a producer that samples, you get to go in here and look for these gems. And let's say in the 90s, early 2000s, there was a bigger emphasis on the songs or tracks that are within the album, not necessarily just the big singles. 20 years ago, you wanted to put a CD on and you wanted to be able to play it from back to back. Atlantic Star, Radiant, incredible album. I, as a producer, even when there weren't songs that I released, just getting the practice of sampling from these great songs and from these great musicians and producers helped me to have a better understanding musically. Mystic Merlin. Guess who sang with them? Freddie Jackson. Chic. If you know anything about Chic, Good Times, one of the most classic tracks by the Sugar Hill Gang came from them sampling Good Times. Percy Faith. Look them up, check them out. Music production has not died. There are some incredible producers out today. I really like a lot of the people out today, but I think we would benefit so much more if producers could sample again. And I mean sample, and hey, I expect everybody to get paid, but where it wasn't such a big, harsh punishment for sampling. I think it's done a disservice to the listeners also, because now a lot of people that listen to music, they don't have the attention span to listen to anything different. You gotta catch them really quick. We already live in a situation where you gotta catch people really quick. What is this? This is Soul of Hawaii. I learned so much from just trying to sample this. I never actually used anything, but it added to my music education as a producer listening to this stuff. If you just go through loops and you just try to make production just off the top of your head, that's okay. And I understand producers do listen to older music and other people. But if you're a current producer, let's say you started in 2016, how far back do you think you really go if you do not sample? How far would you go back to listen to music? You might listen to music from the early 2000s, maybe. I doubt you would do a bunch of digging to really just add to your music education as a producer. Grover Washington. This is Brand Nubian. Pablo Cruz. I'm not saying that music production isn't good today. I'm just saying that when people are allowed the opportunity to sample, they have so much more to pull from. A lot of times I can deconstruct a hip hop track today. I pretty much know where the bass is going at. Usually that is definitely going to be easy. Some of the chords, somewhat easy to pick out. Drums, the drums, it's going to be a circulation of 20 actual drum sounds. Y'all do this. Go listen to some music production today, like the hottest tracks that are out now. I guarantee you there's a rotation about 20 drum sounds all together. There's going to be variations of 808 hi-hats. It may be some 909 hi-hats, variations of the 808 kick, and I don't know how many versions of it, but that you might catch a couple of classic sample James Brown type drum kicks. You're going to catch a lot of 808 snares. Everything today, like I said, is very narrow. And we just find ways to kind of move it around a little bit and call it something new. The only people who can really sample are the big boys. I mean, like a Kodak Black, who did sample that Jeff Lorber. They got the record company and everything. They just go there, get everything cleared, and they're good to go. The last thing you want to do is be a producer and you make this hot song and you really don't get anything off of it. And what basically winds up happening is that you don't benefit from the money from that first song that got hot. You're going to have to benefit from other people swarming to you because you made that hot song and then you try to go away from it, which then still cause a problem because they're going to be looking for samples or whatever made that song hot. But you as a producer, you're going to want to navigate away from that if you want to keep your publishing money. This is my opinion. Tell me what you think in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Give me a like. Producer Theology.